Everyone, welcome to my house. Good to see you. I see that we've already got JC, Scott, Liz are all here. Evening. Lizzie saying, what about last night? Yeah, I'm just going to talk through the fragrance event that I went to it was actually yesterday daytime. And then maybe a little bit of what went on in the evening as well after that. So yeah, stick around. So I'll get to that in a short while. Drink of the night is squash, because I probably had a few too many last night. There's a little clue. I can't seem to hydrate today. I was talking to Lizzie earlier, I did a couple of voice notes, and my voice is, I think it was worse earlier. It's still not perfect, but definitely a bit growly, which I think is kind of sexy. But yeah, I must have talked too much or shouted or sang, who knows. So I've got a squash. Let me know what you're drinking or consuming, if you've got a snack. I just had about 3/4 of a blondie that I made. So blondie as opposed to brownie. I'm no baker, but recently I had a go at making some blondies and they came out all right. And then I kind of craved them, so I made them again. And I put a little bit of almond, what's it called? Crushed up almonds, you know, like desiccated almond, ground almond. I put some ground almond in there in place of a little bit of sugar. Not a lot, it's still a ton of sugar in there as well. And then what I do is a recipe that I read somewhere online. You plonk some jam on top of the brownie, and then you put a bit more brownie batter on top, so that the jam's sort of sandwiched a bit inside, and they come out really nice. So yeah, I just had a bit of a brownie with my coffee, and I needed a bit of a lift. I walked into Rochester earlier, and I had what do you call it? An early dinner. I took myself on a date, and I had a pizza, and it was really good. So I walked into Rochester and had the pizza, and that was about 5 o'clock. Well, I was feeling quite tired, so I came home and I had a bit of a lay down, and then I needed to awaken. So I had a coffee and blondie. Blondie? Is it called a blondie? Blondie. Yeah, I think so. But not like the singer. So we've got John. We've got JC. Hey JC. I don't know if I said hello to you already. We are. Jonathan's here. Hello, we are. Alicia's here. Hello, Alicia. So we've got some lovely people already in the chat. Thank you for joining me while I shuffle my bot. Oh, my trousers are falling down a bit behind. You know when you sit down and your trousers fall low and you feel your back exposed a little bit. I don't like that, even though no one can see it. I hate any bits of flesh hanging out around the trouser area, you know. Not talking anything dirty, I just don't like bits of side panel or back panel hanging out. It's not a good feeling. Scott says, squash also and maybe a little chocolate. Good. Yum, yum, yum. Last night I ate chocolate in bed. Really bad. Yeah, we were going to get to last night. It was some misdemeanors. Chocolate in bed. I didn't clean my teeth. I am so good at looking after my teeth since I got them straightened. And you know, I went through quite a lot of dentistry over a couple of years. So I'm really pretty super on it when it comes to looking after my teeth. I didn't even clean my teeth last night. So there's a clue as to how messy things got, you know. Alicia's got pink grapefruit squash. Are you saying you've got it, or are you spotting that I've got it? Because that's what I've got. But I keep mine quite weak. I've always liked a weak squash. I don't like too sharp or strong a taste. I like to feel I'm hydrating, and making it weak makes me feel like I'm getting a bit more water. I might have to have a spoonful of honey later. Lizzie Bean says, I need a drink, a big fat drink. Get one. Where are you, Lizzie? You're home? Almog is here. Hello, Almog. Nice to see you. And Drawn By, a cup of tea for me. How's your hand? Are you talking to me? I don't think I've got a problem with my hand. I don't think I've got a problem with my hands. John says, maybe your washing machine shrinks all the wastes of your lower clothes like mine, Glare Fairs. Effective washing machine. That's what it is, I think. Yeah, I think the washing machine overheats and shrinks everything. Yeah, Elise's got the same drink as me, not massively strong. Yay! Drink twinsies. Tom must have been spiking your drinks, says I stink. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I don't know, where he was either spiking my drink or we're just bad influences on each other. I think we'll probably just say that. Did anyone see our live stream in Tom's Facebook group? We were slurring. We live streamed from a pub. Terrible, terrible, terrible behaviour. Nigel's here. Hey Nigel, good to see you. Have I missed anything? I like to try not to miss anything here. So I think we're good. I think I've got everything and everyone. If you're watching and you haven't said hello, you haven't said what you're drinking, or maybe you haven't said what you're wearing, we haven't got there yet, but do share your scent of the day / night / whatever. Do share that. Say hi. If you're too shy to do that, you could just do a little emoji or a smiley face. If you don't have emojis, you could do a double colon, you know, the 2 dots, and then what's that called? A bracket. Do a bracket and make a sort of sideways smiling face. Do that, because then we can just say hi to you. So my scent of the night, because it's night here, it's night in. Most of you guys are from the UK, or a lot of you are from the UK at the moment. Oh, except for Yara, who's over in the States, in Kentucky. Hello, Yara. It's Heels with you. Happy birthday to Hillary, by the way. Hillary, are you listening? Are you watching? Are you with Yara? Have you had a good day, Yara, with Hillary? My scent of the night was tuberose, joyous, of the joyous tuberose, Guerlain. Look what I've done to this bottle. I'm not wanking it off. I'm just trying to clear some fingerprints. Look at the dent I've put in that. So that tells you 2 things actually. It tells you, one, I really like it. Like, I like it a lot. And it tells you have to spray a lot. It's not the strongest. Like, if you think tuberose normally is quite a big beastly note on its own, tuberose is big, but not here. No. It's not a really strong fragrance. It's very light and airy. A little bit green, very pretty sort of. It's not just like tuberose. I think there's this jasmine, and the 2 together, really airy and not heavy at all. And then you just have that Guerlain base, that lovely kind of slightly resinous vanilla type thing. But it's very soft, like the sweet vanilla. It's quite soft, so it's not as full-on sweet as Angelique Noir. But you could put it in the same category as Angelique Noir in terms of it being a kind of like green floral gourmand. But Angelique Noir is really, really, really heavy on the vanilla, whereas this is like way, way, way less. And I really love it. It's like perfect spring, summer perfume. And I'm wearing the shit out of it. So, yeah. Absolutely loving it. Lizzie, have you tried the sample I sent you yet? Oh yes, going to spray it now. Yes, let's see what you think, Lizzie Bean. I would love to know what Lizzie makes of this one. Okay. I think, bloody hell, that's quite a dent for a few weeks. Yeah, it is what, like, and probably not even 2 weeks. I think I'm going to sneeze in a minute. I'll try not to sneeze over you in case I've caught COVID while I was in London. Yara says, Hillary is listening. I just got to see them after finishing work. Ah, well, happy birthday, Hillary. I know Hillary loves my singing. I'm almost as good as Hillary, I reckon. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hills. Happy birthday to you. Hey, y'all. Just thought I'd put my own little spin on it there. Did you like that? Scotty Bean is wearing Soma Blonde. Oh, there she is. Hello, Hills. Liz is just shoving some scampi in the oven. I don't think that's a euphemism. I don't think it is, but correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, right, so I've done my scent of the night. Some of you are doing yours now. Drawn by, was Voyage by John Pascal. I don't know that one. So tell me your scent of the day, night, whatever, if you haven't done already. And John is wearing the Fine La Prima, which I'm sure you didn't send me. Yes. John's been getting a bit confused about who sent him what samples. Do you know what, John? I only know who sent me what if it, say, like Lizzie has a signature blue label, or I can kind of tell Scott's writing. But sometimes sometimes I keep samples together that people sent me. So Rich Mitch has sent me quite a few, and he sends a load at a time, and I find it easier to just keep them all together in an envelope. But then I get overwhelmed with envelopes of samples and you know, samples everywhere, because they end up, tell me if this happens to you, samples end up all over the house, in every single room. You tread on them, the cat knocks them under the chair, the samples everywhere. So I will never really sort of remember how I ended up getting certain samples, unless it's something quite specific about them that I remember. If it was a sample I was like desperately wanting to try, and someone then was kind enough to send it to me, I'll probably remember. But if it was more of a random like bunch of samples, oftentimes I will forget. So I'm sure we all do that. I think is wearing Queer de Chine from Les Indomitables, and I definitely said that correctly. Lizzie Bean says, talking about the tuberose from Guerlain, surprisingly not that tuberosy, kind of grassy and powdery all at the same time. Definitely a luxury powder Guerlain thing going on. Yeah, definitely. Alicia is wearing a bit of Elie Saab's Lumiere and Fuego Lento, which is from Frasai. So I did a review earlier today on Frasai's Verano Porteno, and Alicia was talking about Fuego Lento. I haven't tried that one. I've tried, is it Tessinger and Blondine? I think I tried those two. Alicia says, all kind of hairspray, but prettyish, slightly sparkly white florals. Yeah, I know what you mean with, I get hairspray from some fragrances. Not always white florals. I actually get hairspray from Guerlain's Insolence. I get that kind of, it reminds me of my mum, you know, when I was growing up, my mum always sprayed a shit ton of hairspray on her hair, and it just makes me think of that. Insolence does, and a couple of other fragrances. Sometimes aldehydes do it. So I always feel like Insolence is aldehydic. I don't know if it is. I don't think it's an official note listing, but I feel like there is some fizzy aldehyde going on in there. But John says, I'm just getting senile, I think, and yes, they're bloody everywhere. Yeah. Hills is saying, thanks everyone for the birthday wishes. Yara's wearing Bergamot 22 off of Le Labo. Yara says, have you smelt the new Frasai? I think it's called Victoria. I only just saw it on their website, but I didn't like the note listing. I can't remember what it was I didn't like. But there was one or two notes that really turned me off, that told me that it's not going to be for me. Have I still got their website up? I do. But I can't see it. I'm not on the right page. I'm not on the right page. Lizzie says, yes, it's definitely pleasant, very approachable, lovely for every time, nothing to dislike. Sorry, still harping on with tuberose, John. Joyous tuberose. Dion is here. Hi Claire, I'm late to the party. You're just in time, Dion. No one ever wants to be the first person at the party, and you don't want to be the last person either, so you like timed it perfect actually. Yara, tuberose and oud. Yeah, that'll be the notes that I don't love. Although we have found out that I can be okay with tuberose. In actual fact, absolutely love that Guerlain tuberose. But as Lizzie says, it's not really that tuberose. So and I do remember when it came out, everyone was sort of saying, or a lot of people were saying, this is a tuberose for people that don't like tuberose. And I still thought, yeah, but I doubt I'll like it. And I kind of like dismissed it. It's like, it's got tuberose in the bloody title. However, yeah, it has this lovely lightness about it. Dion is wearing Iris Crush. Iris Crush by Jimmy Choo. Is that a high-end line? Because I've not heard of that. I can't imagine that would be in their main line, and I reckon I would have heard of it. Iris Crush, love the sound of it, love Iris, love crushes. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. Right, so let me talk you through what happened last night, or yesterday actually. So yesterday there was an event by a company called Electimuss. I know some of you already know the company. There's what their samples look like, so you can see the name, Electimuss. And I was invited, which is really lovely. The lovely Sue, many of you know Sue Poo, dear to all of our hearts, and she is working with Electimuss, and so she got me an invite to the event, and it was held at Jovoy, which is a niche fragrance boutique in London. It's actually my favourite niche fragrance boutique because of the variety of the different brands that they stock, and they've got a huge variety. The actual store is amazing to visit. There's 2 floors. The staff are really welcoming. They let you get on with it. They're quite generous with samples. Oftentimes I've been and sort of on my way out, you know, they actually offer and say, is there anything you'd like a sample of, which is really nice. And you can of course buy samples online, and they're quite generous with how much they give you, and the price they charge is usually cheaper than cost would be if you bought, you know, per mil if you bought a bottle. So I'm a big fan of Jovoy as a niche fragrance boutique and an online store. I think they're amazing, and so it was really cool to be invited to an event. And then so yesterday I was actually on night shifts the night before, so I couldn't get up early, because normally what I would want to do is get up early, go to London and go and sniff in all the different, you know, shops and stuff. But I didn't really have a lot of time because I needed to sleep. I think I slept till about 11:30, which is not much sleep actually. What's that? I went to bed about 7, so 8, 9, 10, 4.5 hours sleep. And then the alarm was set for something like 12:30, but I just woke up, and then I just got up, put some pink in my hair. It gave me time to put some pink in my hair, which I wanted to do. And then, yeah, got ready, and I did manage to get to London in time to go to Harrods and Fortnum and Mason. So let me catch up with your comments before I carry on. Hold it there at Fortnum and Mason. Elise says, slightly off topic, Future Primitive Peony and Oud whipped soap. Really pretty for people who don't like oud. Okay, interesting. I saw an email from them. They've got some sort of, I'm not sure if it's an Easter sale or an Easter release. I haven't actually read the email, but I'm trying not to buy. I've got so much stuff in terms of body creams and oils and shower gels and bath bombs. I've got too much, so I try not to even tempt myself at the moment with stuff like that. But Future Primitive are really, really great. Dion says, yes, it's from Private Collection. It was hard to track down a bottle in the USA. Okay, tell me more, Dion, because I really like the name, and I'm quite interested in how Jimmy Choo go about their Private Collection. I wonder what that's like. John says, the legendary Sue Poo, bet she's lurking. I'm sure she'll say hi if she is. Liz says, hello Sue, if you're lurking. She is shy, our Sue. She's a little shy, but she's a dear. She's a love. John says, Jovoy is nothing like Boots then. Scott says, yeah, love Jovoy. Drawn by, yes, Jovoy. Love the nails, by the way, says John. Thank you. They actually need redoing because I dyed my eyebrows. See how dark they are? I dyed my eyebrows and I got eyebrow dye on a couple of the nails there. And actually, I think I've got a chip. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They need doing. They need doing again. I think this is a new. Yeah, this is a new colour I got the other day. Anywho, I do gel. I do gel. I trained as I did nails years ago, but I only do gel now. I used to always have acrylics, and I'd like not really long, but you know, big nails for years, and then I kind of like just got totally over it because it's quite hard work to maintain them. And actually, I like sporty, I like my nails to be quite short, and if they grow a little bit, a few millimeters, and they start to annoy me, especially for typing. So anyway, right, we're off track now. We held that fort at Fortnum and Mason. So I got to London, went to Harrods first, and in Harrods I had a specific tracking down list. I was actually in there, in and out really quick. I've never done Harrods so quick in my life because, my gosh, I mean, a fragrance lover walking into Harrods and coming out within 25 minutes. It's a miracle. I don't know if anyone's ever done it. I feel like a record breaker. But I had limited time. So into Harrods, and I found the two new Armani's, Indigo Tanzanite and Magenta something. And I mean, I only sniffed them from... I would have sprayed them if they'd smelt good from the lids. But I took the lid off, sniffed it, and I was just like, no, meh. And I love the notes of Indigo Tanzanite, almost to the point I could have blind bought it. And then when I sniffed it from the lid, I was like, and then the magenta one, I didn't like even more. Neither of them were horrible, but they were like... very disappointing just from smelling the lid. You know, it's not really fair to judge. So if they're interesting to you, don't let me put you off. And I'd like to, if I can find them in blue water when we'll have more time, I will spray them, and I'll probably try and get them on skin or something just to see. But honestly, it was a very meh situation. I was like, yeah. I was so surprised because I really like the sound of the indigo one. So immediately wrote those off just from sniffing from the lid. So they were ticked off the list anyway. At least I kind of tried them. And then what else did I tracked down, I searched out Iris Porcelana, which is the new, actually it's not the latest one now, but it's a fairly new ex nihilo. I don't know how to say that. Iris Porcelana, I had it here, I specifically remember. It's gone now, of course, and that's really nice, but not to the point of needing to buy it. I felt like my Armani Privé New York has some similarities, but is way more complex and interesting. But Iris Porcelana, I would love to get a sample of and give it a proper go. I did like it, and I had Sue, because Sue's an Iris lover as well. And I had Sue smell it, and she really liked it as well. How to describe it? It's like chalky. I think it's a bit chalky, powdery, musky, iris, violet, maybe a hint of rose or something like that. It's not that. I've smelt stuff like it before, but it was done very nicely. So I would definitely, if I can get a little sample of that, absolutely want to try that and give it a proper wearing. On the other hand, I went for Chanel 1932. I think that's the one with Ambrette, but I'm not sure. I've been meaning to find the, I think it was Peter Corcoran who recommended one of the Chanels in a live stream for the Ambrette note, and I forgot, but I knew it had numbers in it. But there's a few Chanels with numbers, and I couldn't remember when I was in. I have researched them all, and I've watched. Clemence has a really great video on all the exclusives, and a couple. There was someone else who's got a really good video on the Chanel exclusives, and so I did all the research ages ago, and then I forgot all of it, and then I was in Harrods, and I smelt all the lids, and I knew I like La Pausa, I like Rue Cambon. But I knew already that it wasn't those, and I smelt the 1932, and I thought it might be this. This smells kind of musky, irisy. So I went for 1932 on my left hand, and I really did enjoy that. Again, not to the degree that I need to have it, but I really liked it. And then what? Lizzie says, yeah, indigo had me intrigued too. Thanks for letting us know. Shame, as the bottles are lovely. I mean, it may well be that you'll really like it. I can't pinpoint what it was that made me feel so bleh about it. I was in Harrods and there's fucking ouds and whatnot everywhere. Like, it's crazy in Harrods. But it was just a case of smelling it from the bottle and just there was something, yeah, it just wasn't for me. Like, there was nothing in it. Didn't smell like a massive, you know what I'm like. It wasn't like, oh, I smell ambroxan, fuck off, perfume, fuck off. It was I guess like it smelled like everything's all mashed together. When you smell the lid, you are smelling just the opening notes, aren't you? So it just smelled like, I don't smell any clarity. I don't smell anything in particular. I just smell this like mush. This mush of things. It just wasn't appealing. It was fine, but it wasn't appealing, But I'm not. It's not fair to judge a perfume from sniffing the lid. I get that. So I am definitely gonna give it a go when I get a chance, properly. Right, let's have a look. Dion's telling us about this Iris Crush, which I'm really interested in. So this is from Jimmy Choo. It's a lovely scent. It does smell very similar to Chanel Missia. The notes that stand out to me, mainly iris, raspberry, slightly powdery, longer lasting. Well, it sounds lovely. I wonder what the price difference is compared to Missia. Jimmy Choo as a normal designer line are definitely cheaper than Chanel. So I wonder if that's true for their higher end perfumes. So, but yeah, interesting. I will definitely check that one out if I can. And let's see. Dion says, I can't wait till I can visit Harrods. I know I would be there for a few hours. You would definitely need to be there for a few hours. How I recommend doing it, and what I've done before, and I didn't have time this time, is take a book with you, like a good small hardback notebook. And for everything you get sprayed onto a strip that you're interested in, slap it between the pages so you can separate all the strips so that they're not rubbing together. So otherwise, if you chuck them in your handbag or your pockets, they all end up merging their scents onto each other. So if you put them through the pages of a book, and if you've got a notebook, then that's just handy. You need a pen to write what the fragrance is on the bit of paper. But if you've got a notebook, it's also just handy, just in case you need to write anything down, because we're geeks, aren't we? That's what we do. We asked this 32 is the musk one. 1932 or 32 Rue Cambon. Lizzie says, the Joyeuse tuberose is more iris and musk to me. No wonder you love it so much. It has a tingly, fluffy thing. Yes, it's so fluffy. It's so fluffy. Love it. It's very elegant and smooth. I just feel like I in my review today, I was talking about Verano Porteno. And in my review today, I was talking about how it makes me feel pretty. And Joyeuse tuberose, I'd say, it almost makes you feel beautiful. Like it's almost like a step above. Like Verano Porteno is to me a daytime scent, really pretty and fresh and clean. But Joyeuse tuberose makes me feel beautiful. I feel like everyone's just going to fall in love with me when I'm wearing it, which would be handy. Eric is here. Hi Claire and everyone. Have been a while since I catched a live. Good to see you, Eric. Nice for you to be here. Why do I feel? I swear on my life I've not had a drink, but I feel like I have. I'm definitely just drinking squash. Maybe I'm high on the blondie. I didn't put anything in there, by the way. The blondie is only sugar and flour and stuff. Francis is here. Hello, Francis. John says, I know someone who has amazing notebooks available on Amazon. Who might that be, John? Have I got one down here? No. No, it's over there. I can't be bothered to get it. 1932. So 1932, that was the one I had there. Chanel 1932, and that was the one with ambre. I did really like that, so I might try and get a little sample of that at some point as well. See how it goes. John says, can we have a top 10 make us feel pretty list, Claire? I need that. Do you know what? That is a fucking good idea, John. I'm going to do that. Everyone should do that, actually. Let's all do it. Alicia says, I like that idea, John. Yeah, that's a really nice idea. So yeah, I will try and do that. Might not be 10, might be 5. We shall see. But I totally do have I was thinking recently, like, I kind of lost the will to make fragrance videos a little bit, because there's so many. Like, I was chatting to Thomas about this last night, and we'll get back there. There's so many fragrance videos, and it's like so. It's almost like I can't be bothered to watch any. I know I watch my friends. I'm pointing at the lap. I watch you lot. I do, but I kind of like I'd had enough, and I didn't really feel like watching fragrance videos, and didn't really feel like making fragrance videos. And I felt like I wanted to do something different. And part of me is thinking, like, I really enjoyed the review I did today, and it sounds a little bit conceited, but I really enjoyed it because I kind of approached it. I didn't mean to, it just came out that way, but I kind of approached it slightly differently, and I went from more of an angle of how the fragrance makes me feel pretty, and a bit more than that, and I really enjoyed that. So I think I might approach things slightly differently on my channel and go a little bit more feelings and emotions and stuff, if we can handle that. Let me know if you'd like me to have a more emotional approach to my reviews. I feel like that might be something that I want to do. John says, yeah, I'll definitely do that, the pretty fragrances. And I agree, it's a grind sometimes. We need a detox from it all. Yeah. Oh, Cherie's here. Hello, Cherie. Hey, guys. Great to catch you, Claire. About to be driving, so I'll just listen. Well, it's lovely to have you along, Cherie, and drive safely. Right, so where were we? I keep going off on tangents. Right, so I went to Harrods, smelt the things I smelt. And then what else did I smell in Harrods? Oh, yes. There's a new one from Stefan Humbert Lucas, and it's called Lady White Snake. I think Lady White Snake. And White Snake is a band. I don't think it's anything to do with the band. I have no idea what the name's all about, but I bloody lost a piece of paper with it on, and it was probably the thing I liked the most all day. Like, it was my favourite thing that I smelt, and it reminded me a little bit of Love Don't Be Shy and Oriana, but it was like a more complex and slightly more edgy version, which, I mean, that's a good thing, isn't it? So I will be trying to track down a sample of that, because I mean, I didn't have skin. I already had on something there. I put on here. Oh, that was in Fortnum. So we're going to get to what I put on there when I got to Fortnum. But I wanted to keep some skin clean to go to Jovoy. So I couldn't put it on skin, but it definitely had quite a lot of floral elements to it. Orange blossom. Netflix has just come on. I had it on pause, you see. I'm going to have to go and pause. I'm going to have to go and stop it, because... Can you hear it? Can you hear Netflix in the background? That's weird. So I didn't have any skin, but yes, lots of florals, but definitely orange blossom, quite dominant. A little bit of an edge in there. I can't tell you what that was, but Stefan Humbert Lucas, everything I've tried from them has quite an edge, whether it's something animalic, something kind of weird. And that's been the reason why I haven't fallen in love with any of them so far. But this Lady White Snake was really good from what was on the piece of paper that I no longer have. Yeah. What's that one, Claire? I'm listening. Yeah, Lady Whitesnake, Stefan Humbert Lucas, I think they're called. 777, I think, is in the name of the brand as well. Does it come with a wind machine, says we are. I guess that's the Whitesnake reference. Lady Whitesnake, yeah, something like that. Although there's a space between white and snake, so it's not really Whitesnake like the band. I'm not sure if Netflix has turned itself off or it's just on a scene with no talking. Rich Mitch is here. He says, Helly, hello. Helly, hello. So I then left Harrods. This is probably the most boring story. Like, this is, you know, it's like reading to kids what I did on my holiday. So, but I started, so I'll finish. So then I left Harrods and I went to Fortnum and Mason, and I only had one on my hit list at Fortnum, and that was is it called Musk Poudre Intense from Nicolai. I've tried the Musk Intense before and I liked it, but wasn't blown away by it. So I tried a Musk Poudre Intense on my hand, on my wrist, and it was quite nice, but again, didn't blow me away. It was a, you know, powdery irisy thing, a little bit fruity to start with. Seemed quite light because when I looked for it later in the day, I couldn't smell much, although I had smelt a lot that day. So, you know, probably need to test it again. But this is a problem. When you go to London or anywhere, even if you just go to one good shop, you simply can't give anything any justice. Like, you know, you find yourself dismissing things off, you know, the top notes, off smelling it from the bottle, and it's not really fair. It's not fair on the fragrance, and it's not fair on you. So how do we, I don't know how we deal with this. Like, what can we do? Like, you can try and get samples of the things that did interest you, but by the time you smell so much stuff, it's almost like everything starts to smell the same. So it's tough. Like, it's really fun to go sniffing, but it's overwhelming, and actually you don't learn that much from it, I don't think. But anyway, it was fun. So then I actually went to the event at Jovoy, and when you can walk from Fortnum's to Jovoy, which was cool. So that's how I planned it that way. Harrods first, tube to I think Piccadilly. I went tube to Piccadilly, walk to Fortnum's, and then walk to Jovoy. So that's what happened. And I got to Jovoy at about 4:30, which is the time that I said to Sue I'd get there. So well done me. Well done me for actually being kind of on time. So yeah, Lizzie says, is Jovoy somewhere you can just walk into, or is it appointment only style? No, you can just walk in. Very, very welcoming in there. Really lovely. Yeah, just walk in. Yeah, so when I got there, I could see, like, it was buzzing. There was loads of people in there, and I immediately saw Thomas. You guys will know Thomas, Ouch 110, and he was with a lady called Olga. She is on Instagram as Perfume Days. So if you're not following Olga, go and follow her. She took a really nice picture. I don't know, she took it on her phone, but it seriously looks like a professional picture. And it's a selfie of us and Thomas, I think. But I was just amazed how clear and how brilliant her photography was, basically. And then Sue caught up with me and deftly handed me a glass of champagne. And basically, it was all downhill from there. I'm joking. It wasn't all downhill at all. Christy's here. Hello all, love your springtime blouse. Thank you, Christy. Lizzie says it was a lovely photo, all looking gorgeous. Thank you, Lizzie Bean. So yeah, and then I spotted the macarons. So I was chatting to I saw Carl. I saw the two Carls. There's two Carls on Instagram that most of you will know. Carl, oh, bloody forgotten his Instagram name. It's got 68 in it. Or, you know, Carl, lovely Carl, lovely, softly spoken Carl. And also Carl Topman. who I think that he goes by that name on Instagram, always has like a blazer on, looking very smart wherever he goes. He was there as well. Didn't really talk, we exchanged a few words, laughed because he dropped the lid. The Electimuss lids are like really heavy, and he dropped the lid, and I think he said he dropped them quite a lot. So fragrance 28, that's it. Carl, yes, that was it. Yeah, so I've finally met Carl in real life, which was lovely. Who else was there? So obviously our own Supu, of course, was there. And yeah, spotted the macarons. So Carl and bloody hell, I can't remember Sue's friend, a work colleague from Lush Days. She was there. She was really sweet. I've forgotten her name, which is really, really bad of me. But we all had a macaron each, and then lots of champagne. Holly is here. Hello, Holly. And then there was a little talk from the creative director. So a lady called Claire. She's the new creative director of Electimuss. She was saying new. I think she's been there I think she said it was like 2 years maybe. So she was doing a little talk about the two new patchoulis, which I have here, 2 new patchouli scents from Electimuss. And she was saying how they're kind of like talking about the light and dark, and how patchouli has you can have lightness and darkness in patchouli. And they've gone for one fragrance that's more light with dark, but more light. And then the other one is much more dark with just a little bit of light. So, so they're the 2 patchoulis. And I tried a couple of the other Electimusses, and Sue kindly put together bags of samples for everyone, and she curated my sample bag because I'm really fussy. I don't know if any of you realise that. I'm quite fussy. I might have conveyed that once or twice. So it was pointless giving me everything from the Electimuss range, because they're very lots of them have oud, saffron, smoky notes, leather. I mean, that's the kind of brand, you know, that's, I guess you'd say, the sort of like Middle Eastern aimed maybe. So that's really not my general taste in perfume. So it's pointless giving me everything from their line, because there's something like 20. I've just counted. So I'll get there. But me and Tom ended up taking each other's sample bags home. So I've got Tom's samples, and I think he's probably got one of everything. So I just counted them, and there's about 20 in his bag. So, and I'm actually going to spray his samples. I know he won't mind. I know he'll be cool with that. But yeah, he took my samples home. I took his, but that's really not the worst of it. That's just a funny little thing that we discovered today. Georgie Carl, yeah, oh, you've already said that. Macarons, perfume and booze, bloody perfect evening. You're so right, Liz. You are so right. And do you know what? It was exactly what I needed. That other Claire is very, do you know what? If your name's Claire, you're predetermined to be lovely. Fact. Ask any Claire. So yes, tried some of the Electimusses. There's a couple there. I had a sample actually a long time ago. I had a sample of one of them, and I think is it Imperium, the one that smells like a Ventus. And I remember, and it was the only Electimuss I'd ever tried, and I smelt it and I was like, oh, what? It smells like a Ventus. So you know when you kind of like write a brand off because you think, surely are they a clone house? You know. So I kind of like just thought, I don't think they're going to be for me. And then yesterday I tried, there was another one that smelled similar to something else. I can't remember what it's called, but it smells a little bit like Baccarat Rouge. But that's it. But then there's a couple. I've got 2 favourites, so I have got them here. So there are a couple that I actually really like. That don't smell like anything. Well, actually, one of them I would compare a little bit to Iris Ganache, which is a pretty good thing, because obviously you can't get Iris Ganache. I highly doubt that was the aim, and the note listing doesn't even match anything like Iris Ganache. It just, to me, it gives me Iris Ganache feels. It's not like it smells the same, it just gives me these feels of it, you know. So, shall we smell? I say, shall we? Unfortunately, you can't smell them unless you've got them at home with you right now. So we're going to try the. Actually, no, we should save the darkest one till last, because that's a thing. When sniffing perfume, the professionals will tell you smell the lighter stuff first and the darker stuff at the end, and I think that makes sense. So. I'm going to do, actually, we'll save the two patchoulis till last. I'm going to do the two that I really like. So Sue said, Claire, you're going to like Mercurial Cashmere. And this one has bergamot, cardamom, pink pepper, violet, iris, grey amber, musk, cashmere, wood, cedar, oud, caramel. But I didn't smell any oud in it when I smelt it yesterday. So we're going to go on skin. I only tried it on paper so far. Sue sprayed it on. I'll do a little one because just in case. When Sue gave it to me on paper, the first thing I said is it reminds me of a particular sweet that I used to eat as a child. And I can't quite remember what it was. It was kind of like red. I can't even remember what form it came in, you know, like it wasn't like little separate sweets. It was like, wasn't a wham bar, but it's got like a cola smell. Yeah. We asked, has just been sniffing Oud Infini. I've never tried that, and I don't have any desire to either. Christy says, I've a sample of Mercurial Cashmere. I really enjoyed it. The red sticky lips. I don't know. And on the skin, this is smelling slightly different to how it smelled yesterday. But also I had champagne. I don't know if that makes a difference. On skin, I've got more of a drier base coming through. On paper, it was like this really fruity red sweet type, almost like not cola bottles but cola flavoured sweet, some sort of like hard candy twists, you know, like red twists, but not aniseed, not the aniseedy ones. I'm just getting lost in I forgot I was live. I just got lost for a moment there. Yeah, on skin, it's dry. It's kind of like got this dry powderiness. A little bit spicy, fruity. I do feel like there's some of the dry aroma chemicals in there that I don't get on with, but they're very low. They're not to the point that they would annoy me, you know. I mean, who knows what will happen in the development, but at the moment, usually if there's a ton of something I don't like, it's there immediately. So I think we're all good. Yeah, or like it's like fruity red sweets with a papery, powder, dry, woodsy undertone. Yeah, almost like a bag of sweets. You actually can smell the paper bag as well. Yeah, so that's nice. I like that one. Violet iris. Can I smell the violet? I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to pick out the violet if I didn't know it was there. But it's definitely really pleasant. It's my cup of tea. And it's not too bombastic like a lot of the sort of like Middle Eastern style fragrances. This can be very like in your face. Poof, you know, it's not like that. So that's pleasant. I like that one. That's the Mercurial Cashmere. And the other one I really like, and Thomas likes this as well. So we went live, so when we left the event, we went to a nearby pub and we were hoping Sue would join us, and she did, but she couldn't stop for long because she had to catch the last train. Her last train home was very early because she has further to go. So She couldn't stay long, but yeah, me and Thomas started as we started as we what am I trying to say? Started as we meant to, I don't know, how does that phrase go? Anyway, we ended up going live from inside a pub on his Facebook group, and we smelt this one, which is called Vixere, Vixere, Vixere. And this has mandarin, bergamot, orange blossom, grapefruit, ylang ylang, jasmine, iris, violet, gardenia, heliotrope, sandal. Am I cutting out? I'm sorry if I'm cutting out. So we smelt this one on his live stream, and both of us were like, oh wow, this is really nice. And I smelt this one again today. I haven't put it on, no, I had it on skin yesterday, I think. Oh, I can't remember. Holly says scent of the day is Frederick Mount's Lipstick Rose. Very, very nice. Christy says it was sweet and fluffy to me, the Mercurial one. Yes. Yeah, sweet and fluffy. Holly says I'm across the pond in the mid-coast, Maine. Lizzie says finally cracking into a proper drink. All the talk of booze, Kraken and Coke. I feel like a drink now. I might have a drink. I don't know. I need to hydrate. I'm really thirsty. Oh. Right. I'm going to talk about this fragrance in a minute. Okay. It doesn't smell like Iris Ganache anymore. But it did earlier. I did spray it earlier today. I remember it now. I had it on my skin earlier today. I hope I picked the right one up. No, it is the right one because the note listing's right. Vixere. Yeah. Definitely smell fruity. And so we've got quite a lot of sort of citrusy fruits. Mandarin, bergamot, grapefruit, orange blossom. It's not really a citrus, but I can smell the grapefruit, I think, more than anything else. They've got this tang, like this little tartness. It's like cutting through the sweetness. And kind of like a sharp white floral bouquet. It doesn't smell, usually with orange blossom I can pick that out more than anything else. It's got quite a distinct scent, but I would say it doesn't really smell like anything's more stronger than anything else. Like I can smell white florals, but it's very much, they're all mixed together. And it's a bit orangey as well at the same time. So orangey, but more grapefruity, and then white florals, but all quite kind of like sharp at the moment. Not too sharp, but if you sort of like a little touch of sharpness, you know. And now something sweet, it's like a teeny bit gourmandy coming through. Yeah, now I can see why it sort of reminds me of Iris Ganache. This has got iris in it. Yeah, this does have iris in it, and violet. And iris and violet can often go hand in hand, and they create a lovely powdery, violety thing, which is great. Yeah, this is really, really nice. And I do get an Iris Ganache feel from it. We've got amber, so we've got amber and tonka and vanilla. So yeah, it's going to have a nice sweet base. You can feel it coming through, but it's not particularly strong on the amber and vanilla at the moment. It's just giving it a little backdrop. But the main players, of course, we're in the top notes. The main players are the fresh, all the citruses, and then this like white, sort of sharp white floral. But then this like soft like fruity gourmandy feel, like syrupy fruitiness. Like, so you've got the sharpness of the citruses, but there's like a syrupiness at the same time. I really like this. I really like it. And I'm pleased to say I don't pick up on anything scratchy that I find annoying. I think this is my favourite. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think the Mercurial Cashmere is nice, but it's a touch dry for me. I generally I like things moist. Let me know if you like things moist. I bet Lizzie likes things moist and sensuous. Moist and sensual. Right, let's see. Just checking your comments. Right, I don't think we've got any more comments to say, so I'm going to do the patchoulis. I'm going to do the patchoulis. So we take the lighter patchouli first. I'm not going to do these on skin because I'm afraid. Lizzie says moist and sensual, and then there's some faces, including a vomity face. So that's Lizzie's thoughts on those words. Scott says the bottles are amazing, aren't they? Yeah, the bottles are. Yeah, they are. They're very heavy, very chunky, very. They look expensive. So we're going to go with Persephone's Patchouli. This is the newest one, or these two patchoulis are the newest fragrances from Electimuss. And on the top you've got Guatemalan cardamom, plum, and then you've got patchouli, Egyptian jasmine, Bulgarian rose, and in the base honey, cashmere, fusion, and grey amber. Maybe I will do it on skin, you know. Right, we'll go right up here and we'll just do a tiny little bit. Okay, so this is Persephone's Patchouli. This is the lighter one. This has more light than dark, but they're playing with both notes. They just want to enhance the light in this one. So, John says, very seductive and squelchy, Lizzie-Bet. Francis says, haha, oud and patchouli with a green emoji face. Yeah. Right, let's have a look. So, first of all, it's definitely a patchouli scent. But it's not really heavy. What sort of patchouli is it? Is it maybe a bit like angel patchouli? But there is a lightness. It's almost like a sparkly powderiness. And you can smell the sweetness. And there's honey in the base. What else have we got? Oh, that's the other one. Plum. Do I smell plum and cardamom? Not that I can pick out. Cashmere fusion. I don't know what cashmere fusion is. Anyone know what's cashmere? Is it going to be cashmeran? I'm guessing it's going to be cashmeran, isn't it? It's spelled Kashmir, cashmere. Lizzie says, anyway, what happened to your sexy gravel voice, Claire? You need another. I'm still a bit gravelly. I'm still a bit gravelly, Lizzie Bean. Yeah, this is quite nice. Like, it's not my thing because it's not that sweet or that floral, and I tend to only like floral sweet musks. Which I'm kind of ashamed of how tame my taste is. But it is what it is, isn't it? You can't help what you like. But this is actually really nice. I could wear this. It wouldn't aggravate me, which is that's quite good. It doesn't smell like there's any, again, it doesn't feel like there's anything too scratchy or dry, although it is a dry fragrance. But it's not too dry. It's got more, do you know what I mean? It's not fizzy, but it's got a lift. It's airy. Yeah, it's airy. It's almost dust. It's almost like dust. Imagine dust sparkling in the breeze, like catching the light. Like, I don't know why I'm getting that, but yeah, it's nice. But I'm not really, I find it quite simple. I'm not picking up on a lot of the notes, but I have only done a tiny little spray. But you can definitely smell this like sweetness coming through, but it's not really heavy sweetness at all. It's just adding a little tiny bit of sweetness just to soften everything and make it, to me, more palatable to someone with a sweet tooth who needs sweetness in everything. Even in my savoury food, I still want a bit of sweetness. Barbecue sauce, honey. I like my curries to be sweet and sour. Danzak, you know what I mean. Right, so the next one, I'm not spraying on my skin. And I don't think I've even tried this, but I just know. So we've got Patchouli of the Underworld. I was going to say Patchouli of the Undercarriage, but it's not. It's the Underworld. Lizzie says, I recently fell for a fragrance that would literally offend your nose, Claire Bear. Synthetic overload with brash, obnoxious pinkness, but so addictive. Angel Nova, I'm a basic bitch after all. I don't know. I mean, you never know. Like, I know I go on about synthetic, but it's usually just the dry, scratchy stuff that bothers me the most. Although overly sweet, synthetically sort of syrupy, overly sweet stuff does offend me a little bit as well. But if it's balanced, I'm okay with it. It's just if it's like, if the fragrance smells like nothing in it came from nature, then I just can't enjoy it. I don't know why, because I'm not against synthetic. I promise I'm not. I think there's some amazing, there's some absolutely amazing fragrances out there that have quite a lot of synthetics in them, but I just don't like overdoses of particular synthetics. But yeah, I'm getting tired, so I won't be going on too much longer. You'll be pleased to know. Drawn by says, oh, I wouldn't want patchouli on my undercarriage. John says, Claire, you would not like Nova. Okay. Well, next time I'm in the shop, you know, in a perfume shop or whatever, I will try it. I've not been interested, although I see it gets a lot of love. Right, Patchouli of the Undercarriage. I'm going to spray it into here. Okay, there we go. I'm kind of afraid to breathe in. Greggy boy is here. HBL is in the house. He says, evening, my little spriggle. Good evening, Greggy boy. Good to see you. All right, Lisa's going to send me a little bit of Angel Nova. Thank you. Yeah, just so we can see your reaction to it. Fine, I'll do it live. Right, let's see what this is like. So, Patchouli of the Underworld. Oh, no, I do remember I did smell this yesterday, actually. Straight away reminds me of Tuscan leather, just because it's like full-on leather, like that leather, you know, or elephant off of Zoologist. It's like leather. It's a fucking hard leather. What do we have? Cistus oil, black pepper, smoke fusion. Yeah, it's a bit smoky, but not like too much. Patchouli leather, carnation. The leather's so strong. How on earth I'm expected to smell anything else, I don't know. Labdanum, styrax, castoreum. To me, it's just like pure leather, like it's full on leather, a little bit smoky. Anything else might come out if the leather calms the fuck down. But for now, this is like leather, overdose of leather. Might be different on skin. It's not going on my skin. It's absolutely not going on my skin. I can tell you that for nothing. That is like heavy leather. So when I said it smells like Tuscan leather, it doesn't have the raspberry. It's just got that really, really, really heavy leather that Tuscan leather has. And the same goes for elephant. No, not elephant. Rhino. Rhino's the leather one. I remember I met Joe and Dan from Wafts from the Loft. And then at the end, I filmed a live stream with Dan, Mr. Smelly, going back a few years now. And then at the end of it, as we were leaving the loft, I think it was Joe sprayed a shit ton of rhino, and it was just like full on leather overdose. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's starting to change. Like, it's not quite so full on leather, but still almost like got some suede nuances. Like you got like hard leather and then some soft suede at the same time. I do think it's improving. And some of you, if you love leather, I think you should try it, because it's like, it's leather. it's leather. So that's the, I'll just repeat the name of it. Patchouli of the Underworld. Drawn by says, a lot of anti-Smurf notes by the sound of it. Yeah, that, exactly. Holly said, just ordered more Electimuss samples. Enjoyed what I've tried. Can't remember the names. Too lazy to gather them. They're somewhere on the sample mountain, but they were substantial, good quality. They are, I mean, they you can't argue that they are strong. Most of them, I'm pointing, you can't see, I'm pointing down here. So as I say, these are Thomas's samples, because we are a pair of fucking pissheads and we picked up each other's samples. So yeah, Thomas's samples, and most of them have, almost all of them have saffron, oud, leather, smoky type notes. So they're not for me, you know, they're just not, like, that's just not my thing. But yeah, lots of people will, the people that like those big bombastic sort of Middle Eastern kind of stuff, they're going to like them. Right, so let me just quickly talk you through the end of the night. So yeah, me and Thomas, we had a few drinks. We did a live stream from the pub on his Facebook group, and we were slurring. It's kind of embarrassing. And then we smelt that Vixia. Where did I put that? Yeah, yeah, that's it, I think. We smelt Vixia, and it was really nice. And then we went on to another pub. I have no idea where. And then we went to another pub. Thomas said, let me take you to my favourite gay bar. And I said, yeah, take me to your favourite gay bar. So we went to this pub, and it wasn't really a pub. It was kind of like, I guess you call it a bar. Really nice outdoor area. Thomas just like really loves this place. And I can see why. Like, it was really, it's an attractive place. Like, it wasn't just like, we were outside the whole time, and it was a really nice outdoor area. And we got chatting to some guys. I got to demonstrate my superpower. I was chatting to this French chap and explaining, like, I can't remember, explaining why I was doing London with Thomas, you know, that we were into perfume and stuff. And he said, what fragrance am I wearing? So I had a sniff and I said, smells like Rien from Etat Libre d'Orange. And he was like, how do you even know that fragrance? And it was, I was like, right, spot on first time. So, you know, high five to me. He was quite impressed that at first I even knew the fragrance, because it's only, not everyone even has heard of Etat Libre d'Orange, let alone knows what Rien smells like. Actually, Rien I really, really like. It's supposed to be a leather fragrance, but to me it's a citrusy incense. That's how it smells to me, but it's a full-on like room filler. It's ridiculously strong. One spray only required, and the intense version is out of this world strong. Like, I prefer the original myself. Getting out of breath. So yeah, so we ended up in this bar. It was really nice, really, really lovely chatting to people, and then it was getting late, and I realised that I don't even know what time my last train home is, but it was nearly midnight, and usually the last train home from London is around the midnight, and I didn't even know where we were, and I had to be at Victoria. So Thomas tried to get me home, but he got it in his head I needed to go to Euston, and he got us to Euston, but I was like, well, but my train's from Victoria. So I was a dick. I should have sort of said, well, why you keep trying to take us to Euston? But we got to Euston, and it was at 5 to midnight, and I was like, oh shit. And then Thomas was trying to get an Uber. Someone stole his Uber. Someone stole his Uber, and then we had to try and get the tube to Victoria. And long and the short of it, I actually managed to get my last train home. It turns out the last train home was actually 20 to 1. And so I actually ended up at Victoria with time to kill, which was great, except they closed McDonald's. They closed it as I stood in the queue for food. So literally, like, I walked over to the queue to McDonald's, and the guy was like, no, we're closing now. And all I'd had all day was a yogurt and fruit, a tiny little macaron, and a chocolate, like one chocolate. So, which is not an ideal thing to do when you're drinking. Is you need some food in your stomach. And I was starving. I was so hungry, and they just closed McDonald's right in front of my eyes. Can you imagine? Oh, and I had time to kill. Like, I could have sat down somewhere and ate my McDonald's like the drunken lush that I was, and I was starving. I found a vending machine, and I got myself some flame grilled chips with crisps, ridged. They were really good. I ate them on the train. I made a friend on the train. I got on the train with my crisps, and I had to ask, is this train going to Rochester? Because I didn't want to repeat mistakes from my past. And yeah, the train was going to Rochester. And then got chatting to this guy who's very jolly. He'd been in London working and then on it, so he was pissed. And we talked about food quite a lot. I learned a lot about his cheese habits. He learned about my toasted cheese and onion sandwich habits, which is basically you just can't eat one, you have to have more. And yeah, I mean, the conversation was, probably dire to anyone that was listening in, but it was fun. It was nice to just chat to someone on the way home. So that was good. Lizzie says, ridged for her pleasure. Sorry, couldn't resist. No, do you know what? If you didn't say it, maybe I would have done. So it's all good. And they were pleasurable, them crisps. I was like, oh. When you're really, really hungry and you're a bit drunk, like, food is life. Okay, I think I'm done because I'm gonna go back and watch the thing. What am I watching? I can't remember what it's called. It's brand new on Netflix, and it's like trending #1. It's to do a politician. It's a drama. A politician, a man, has an affair, and it's the ensuing story from there. I'm not sure what it's called, but seems quite good to start with. It's got Sienna Miller in it. So I'm going to go watch that, and I might actually have one vodka. I might have just the one. But I'm still really thirsty. I think I've dried my throat out too much, so I'm going to have a squish as well. Vodka and Coke, and then a squish on the side. So that's it. I think I've done everything I wanted to do. I was gonna do. I am gonna go now, and I'll save this for Instagram or something else. But Freddie Albrighton sent me a sample of his latest one. It's called Last Minute Change of Heart. I have smelt it already. I wish I'd recorded my first impressions, because when I sprayed it and I smelt it, my face was like, so. Basically, the opening is delightful, like utterly delightful. I can't remember the notes. I can't remember really too much about it, and I'm not going to do it now. But it's a fun one. It's like it's childhood memory type thing. So I will definitely be telling you about that somewhere. So keep your eyes out if you're not following me on Instagram. I think you all are. We're all following each other. But if not, if you're not, you can, if you want. And I'll be posting about that probably on Instagram if I don't manage to do it over here. So that's it. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for joining in the chat. It's been lovely. and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye. Holly says, say hello to Thomas and take good care. Will do, Holly. Bye, everyone.